Hey, it's CDA and welcome back to Corsair Cove, and I'm really interested to find out if this series is doing well at all, because it can be quite hard to follow along, I think. However, we have a sprawling base at this point. I'm really proud of that. It seems to be fairly efficient, although the main downside of everything that we need to build from this point onward is that it does need some of those resource points, and they are kind of all over the place. And it's kind of hard to get things to go where they need to go because of that. Now, all of that said, we did complete a pretty important quest line up top here in the ancient archipelago. I think that's the way you pronounce that. But we have another quest line to go. So a raiding with Raven also requires a level 3 Reaver, which we have over here, armed by Scarlet, and she has all the stats she needs to take on this particular quest line. So we're going to sail all the way around.
Perhaps I could interest you in a bit of temple raiding.
I think we just did that.
The chain seeks an item from the Emerald Temple, deep in the ancient archipelago. Hot jungle, deadly traps, and vicious sentinels of the hidden tribe, but the prize is worth it. I assure you.
I am sure it is, but it is worth taking into consideration that we had some pretty difficulties completing the quest the last time around, even though we had the level 3 ship. So now I'm actually curious, is this gonna be like a level 4 quest then after this? Because it didn't feel quite like this is gonna be the end quest. This is just here to get us started, I think. Anyway, we are about to find out. And don't worry, I will actually attribute those 3 points soon. But let's do this quest first.
No doubt the hidden tribe is watching the coast. Make land somewhere out of sight, huh?
Oh, okay, well, we are actually apparently going straight to the temple. Let's prevent the damage to our supplies, and let's get a little bit closer. Let's also make sure that we don't have people die along the way. This is taking up quite a bit of supply to get closer step by step. But yeah, I definitely want to keep my crew alive if I can. Okay, so this is a moment where we can kind of do a burst speed. Gain some treasure along the way. Let's prevent that damage and hopefully... just 1 meter short. I was about to say, and hopefully make the rest of the way, but no such luck. We can prevent some of the damage. But honestly, I just want to make sure that we don't need to do any more than this. We have 3 more events after this, so let's see, what's the cheapest way to get there? I guess that's this one. Okay.
Push them back, then we make for the temple.
You can click away these messages, by the way. I just let them play out because I think it's nicer to watch for you, but if you want to speed things up, you can definitely just click them away. So we need to take down the crew below 50%. That's quite a bit. But this is actually going to do most of that already, but there's 3 points. There we go.
At last.
Okay, now we need to kill the rest.
Let's cut down the remaining sentinels so we may explore in peace.
If we do this, we're gonna get all of our crew killed, so let's prevent the damage to our own crew, I guess. That worked. They're gonna try to prevent damage to their crew, but I'm just gonna do so much damage they cannot do that. Yeah, just 7 left. Okay, let's prevent the damage to our own crew. Stop damaging my crew. I'm also really running out of stuff. Supplies, but so if we just deal some damage to the crew, that is at least this thing done. 30 hints. Very little supplies left, so we're gonna take some damage probably. We can actually do this one. So you can prevent the damage to our crew and gain some hints while we do that. Now we're gonna need to switch to supplies though. Let's take some damage to the hull and gain 13 supplies. I think that should be enough. We also lost some because of the skill from the enemy. Okay, so let's gain as much hints as we can. There we go. Yeah, nice. And we got some almost 800 coin on top of that. and 30
I get
cohesion.
first pickings, then we split 70-30. Agreed?
I get first pickings and then we split? Okay. I don't think so. We're free to plunder the hoard of the Emerald Temple. While we stuff our pockets, we notice Raven picks up a peculiar item, a human skull, uncannily real in its design, covered all over with an inscription. He smiles widely.
Yes, excellent. Do you know what this skull is? This will be our ticket into the Golden City.
My. So that's what you're after. Don't tell me you found a way to get in and out alive.
Not yet. But with this, we are closer than ever. And perhaps there is a spot at the table for you as well. Our partnership has been fruitful so far. Come by Port Concordat sometime. I look forward to our next endeavor.
Ah, okay. Well, that's interesting. We learned from Raven that the Golden Chain is aiming to loot the lost Golden City, a place of legendary riches and untold dangers. They operate out of Port Concordat, the biggest trade port in the region.
The Golden City. That place has eaten more treasure hunters than all the sharks in the seven seas.
Tantalizing, is it not? Entering it means almost certain death. Fully unprepared, that is.
Should we risk it, I wonder?
Should we reach it?
Tainted
Well,
riches,
we sure should.
remnants of ungodly rituals. Some would call that a curse.
I call it the opportunity of a lifetime. If the chain truly knows how to get in and out alive, they'll make us all rich.
Okay, so we have a supply problem here because we aren't quite bringing in enough of those slops. This is going to go up and down a little bit because we are producing it. But the main problem is that we're producing it all the way over here, while it's going to need to be brought here. So what I can actually do... Hold on. If I do all hands on deck, fetchers and hands are doubled and 50% production boost. So I think this might be worth it. So this is definitely increasing the production to such an extent that we're actually full. That's interesting. So that means I should probably build a warehouse next to this. In general, that is always a good idea, to be fair, to have a warehouse right next to a production chain, so you can take advantage of that. I guess we do it like this, just to make sure that we are not wasting any production as we are currently doing, because that's kind of a shame. So we can just deliver everything to the warehouse and then have everything else draw from the warehouse. And then that should be a little bit more effective than what we're doing right now. Meanwhile, we have some points to spend. We completed another deed. We reached 250 cohesion, so we have one more point in the notoriety to spend. So let's see, what do we pick up here? Salt production +2 actually sounds really good because the salt is all over the place. What else do we have? We have the Entertainers Guildhall. All hands on deck production boosts can be boosted. And this boost does not increase production input. Honestly, this could be extremely beneficial as well, depending on how expensive this building is. So let's go pick that up. We can kind of combine that with what we were just doing, because we just boosted the all hands on deck production already. But we also have 3 points into the wealth part of the tree. So let's see, what do we have over here? We can increase the guano production. Okay, that's interesting. Improve the Buccaneer grill production by 5. Interesting. The well. For every well, pirates on the island suffer less from diseases, heat-related work delays, and other disruptions. Wells reduce the duration of negative global effects by 25%. We haven't seen any of those effects just yet, though. Loan shark. Gain coin immediately, pay it back in bits and bobs with a little extra for the trouble. Oh, this might be really useful. Improve tanner production with every rank. And the tanner production is one of the bottlenecks we have to produce more slops. And white gold. Increase the capacity of salt deposits with every rank. Okay, so this increases the salt deposits. And then what did we just pick up over here? The Sultan production. Oh, that's actually a different building. So this actually increases the salt deposit production, I guess? I don't know. Let's pick this up because now I'm confused. And this is going to improve the speed and length of the aerial lift. Okay. I think we're gonna go for another level of the tanner. And I think I'm just gonna pick up the well just in case. Now I'm gonna hold on. Just pause for a moment. So what are these buildings called? These are sultans. Okay. Oh, there's actually a limit. I never realized that these things could actually run out. That's kind of scary. Okay. Something else that is worth noting is that we are now so high on cohesion. I need to deal with that. And last but not least, we are going to need to make use of some of those new buildings that we unlocked. So let's see. The Entertainers Guildhall was the one we wanted, right? Yeah. So the Entertainers Guildhall is a massive building, apparently. Can I fit that in here somewhere? Okay, yeah, here on the side. There we go. And then once we've built that, this production should go up, right? So this is now producing 15, 16, 16. Okay, hold on. That is actually going to go up once we have you do this. And then let's see. Over here we had the slop that is now gonna come from over there. Probably from both directions. I think that's actually fine. That just means we have another fetcher running around. And this slop is also going to come from over here. So you're gonna pick that up from there as well. None of that is particularly optimized. Are you unhappy? What's the problem? You're actually out of rum? And you're out of slop. How are you out of rum? Let's see, where's the rum coming from? Yeah, the rhymes. The rum is coming from over here. Okay. So what we can actually do is we can build one of those. What are called Entertainer Guild Halls. Now these things are really expensive. However, I think they're worth every penny. So let's build that maybe over here. And then connect that up, of course. So we can actually build this thing. And then there's so much production on this island, including rum, that boosting that seems sensible to me. And especially if we can boost it by 80%, because remember, 80% production increase once we have a guild hall. Now, that also means that I can kind of preemptively already do that. I kind of forgot where we're producing the rum, though. Hold on. I'll find it. There we go. This is where we're producing the rum. So, all hands on deck. That should increase the production even further. And, yeah. So that's at 30 production. Okay, I was wondering if it was 20 before, so it's 30 now. Okay, and then once this is completed, we should see that going up even further. So this time around, I want to focus on the quest chain down here. Why? Because we already have the level 3 Prowler ship unlocked. Now, while we're at it, I do think that if I look at this, if we can do a single deed towards the blue or in the red direction, then we should be able to unlock a new ship as well. And we only need to complete a single event with Charlie to do that, and also just ambush another merchant ship. So what I'm actually going to do is once Charlie gets back with her level 2 blue ship, I can kind of do the switcheroo, I think. So let's see, if I put someone else on this ship, so I don't really care who it is. Let's go with Timothy. Let's assign him as a captain. He's a very ugly fellow, by the way. I can then hopefully switch around Charlie to the Prowler. Charlie Legrand. Okay. And then let's see, we have 4 quests that she's super psyched up to do. So let's go and do a smuggling run and then pick up 80 new drifters, because we also really want to start expanding our production lines. Because basically, in order to field these ships, so let's repair her ship. We're gonna need a lot more of these clothing things, and we're also going to need a lot more stew. Although over here we are producing stew quite a bit already, and if I could build a Guildhall over here and then boost this production, just overclock it. Well, I can already start overclocking it, to be fair. There we go. Let's see, how much stew production do we currently have? We have a surplus of quite a bit, like this. I mean, the real challenge is going to be to actually export it to wherever it needs to go. And in order to facilitate that, what I think we should do is probably, once again, build another one of those warehouses very close by, like this, and then have everything put in the warehouse. So again, we have a buffer, and then we don't overrun. Now, why are you a Tiff? Oh, you need some housing. Well, I actually think building the bloody cabins is really good, because that doesn't cost me any gold, so I can spend my gold on something else. And then that should take care of that problem. Okay, now this is a whole bunch of things going on at the same time. Let's switch the map to a more... Let's do it like this. This is a little bit easier to watch, I think. She's going to go all the way down there to do a smuggling run while we start preparing the island for some improvements. Okay, that was a pretty successful smuggling run. We got 80 drifters as a result of that as well, so sent her back home, because we're actually running very low on that. Now, we completed a deed, which should be the one for 10 events with Charlie, so that is quite nice. So we can go into here. And let's see, what do we want to pick up? Maybe some additional production of some sort. I don't know, actually. The Shrine of the Sea is a massive buff, but also costs a massive amount of money. Maybe actually the sail production might be useful. I don't know, let's just pick that one up, because now we have unlocked the level 3 Tempest ship as well. Okay, so let's see, we can probably upgrade the existing one we have in that case, and let's check this one out. So we should be able to improve our stats a little bit, so let's see. That is pretty much better across the board, right? Significantly better, actually. So let's upgrade the ship by doing exactly that, and that's gonna cost us a little bit of stuff, including some sails, but that's okay, we have plenty of those. Okay, so let's see, this is a very fast ship, so we should probably put someone with a speed buff on it, just to benefit from that. So it could be Charlie, but she's already on another ship. So maybe we should go with Kanja, because, well, I don't know, that might be interesting. We also have quests to do stuff with Enrique and Raven. Now, Raven is not particularly suited for this ship, or... well, we could actually maybe go with Timothy, because he's kind of like an all-rounder anyway. And we also need to do 10 events with him. So, yeah, let's assign him as a captain of this ship. He was already the captain on the ship that we were replacing anyway, so that makes sense. And now we have a level 3 ship available. Now, the problem with this is that, once again, we need scallywags to be on this ship. And that's actually not too much of a problem, considering we were already producing the buns over here. I'm actually inclined to just start overclocking a lot of this stuff, since we were already producing that here. Is there only one place where we were producing this? Huh. So now we're producing 36 of those. So 36 scallywags. Were we not producing bread anywhere else? I think we were, right? Let me double check. Yeah, we were also making that over here. So let's start overclocking that. Okay, so that I think that means we should be able to put in most of these guys. Once we actually have enough of that. So we need to produce a little bit more. Okay, let's wait for that, and then we can properly crew that ship. The problem was actually that I ran out of drifters. Luckily, Charlie is about to return with 80 of them, so that's going to allow me to restock my ship and, like I said, increase my production lines a little bit. So this one is ready to trade, so let's get some gold in here as well. I had a lot of gold just at the end of the previous episode, and we were able to spend a lot of that really quickly, so that's interesting. What deed did we just complete? A total of 500 pirate counts. Well, that's nice, because that's also going to allow us to further unlock the level 4 prowler, I think. That is really interesting. So let's keep working on those soup kitchens, because that is definitely going to be needed. Oh, and it seems that we haven't quite unlocked this yet. We need just one more point. Oh boy, and in order to crew this with the next tier of crew, the bombardiers, we are going to need to produce some herbs as well as boots, and none of those things we are producing just yet. So I'm gonna have to set up 2 new production chains just to, satisfy these guys. However, I think we should focus on one thing at a time, because I kind of want to put some of those crow's eyes on this tier 3 ship as well. So in order to do that, let's see, we have a surplus of 47 stew now, so we were doing really good in that regard, but we need some more slops. I think we have plenty of production here, however, so if we actually, let's see, which category is under? Let's build another one of those things up here. Somewhere, can we fit it in here? We're running out of space here, actually. That's interesting. Now, that is a good problem to have, because that does mean we're optimizing some of our space usage. Now, what do we have here? We have a warehouse that we're actually not using, so let's remove that. I'm not sure what I built that for, but I probably forgot along the way. So let's build another one over here, and then let's make sure we connect that. Yeah, we can connect that up here, and then we can put all of that into this warehouse as well. I think we should probably put this warehouse on all hands on deck as well, just to make sure we're as efficient as we can when it comes to transporting stuff in and out of this. And once this is ready, we should have a nice little surplus of slop production as well. It sounds really weird when I say that, but I think it makes sense in the historical context. Let's put it like that. Okay, there we go. Now we have plenty of production there, and that should mean that if we go here and we manage our crew, yeah, we have now a surplus production of 21. 20, it's kind of hovering and going up and down a little bit maybe, but I think if we do it like this, actually we can just completely replace this. There we go. Now we have completely optimized this. Now we are running a little bit in the negative here. That is because this production is not quite keeping up, so we need more leather. Where's the leather coming from again? Let's see, it is being produced up here, I think. We haven't put that into all hands on deck just yet, so we are going to do that now. And that means that we have a little bit more surplus for this building to draw from the leather as well. Okay, I'm not 100% convinced this is enough, actually. So let's see, this needs 3 per minute to go in, and we are producing not quite enough over here, but if we are going to be increasing this a little bit, now we are producing 4.8, 5.5. Okay, that should do the trick, I think, at least to satisfy this. So that should make our lives a little bit easier from this regard. Okay, now we're producing 20. And we need 11 here. And then, of course, 11 here as well. Okay, so this should hopefully balance itself out and make sure we don't get into problems. And if we do, well, we can always just increase our production even further. But now we have a completely optimized ship, and let's go back to our island over here. So we have a couple of quests to do. We have another smuggling run, which is going to give us a whole bunch of wine. That's interesting. And then we have the jungle trails over here, and then we have a feasting with legends quest to kind of start on our main quest over here. So I guess that's where we can just begin. Okay, and there we are. Let's enter Ocean's End.
Enjoy yourselves. Give us a show, and we'll let you have our special grog.
Choose carefully. Okay. Reduce all opponents' stats by 3. So they're not actually going to do anything. Reduce all opponents' stats by 2 to 9. So that is strictly better than that one. Well, not strictly. I guess we could roll a 2. Or we can spend a massive amount of stuff and reduce all opponents' stats by 3 to 18. And this is what? Opponent's gun damage reduced by 14 to 81. I think I'm gonna go for this one, although I don't know. Let's go with that one. But reducing the gun damage by a massive amount could have been really interesting as well.
Our special grog. Now follow this vision to the end.
Okay, so we want to do this as a setup turn. I learned that the hard way, so let's do that one. Deal 0 damage. Okay, so now we can make a whole bunch of distance. This one, I guess? Okay, so reducing the gun damage definitely helped, but we could have reduced this to pretty much 0. However, that's not a problem because we can prevent most of this damage, I think. We are getting very close. Okay, again, another setup turn, so let's go with that option again. We are already pretty low on supplies there. Can you stop doing this one? We need another, what is it, 2400, so this one should be enough.
What slithers unto our deck, my hearties? Dreaming souls, spies of the living. Tear them apart.
Okay, that voice. Okay, they're gonna deal damage to everything. That is a little bit painful. Let's gain some treasure. Because we're pirates. Okay, I think... Should I do this as a setup turn? Yeah, I think I should do that. We can take some damage, right? Okay. Let's prevent the damage once more. I want my crew to stay alive. I am running pretty low now.
Now we test the captain's mettle. Have at thee.
I actually didn't realize what we were supposed to do. Oh, survive. We were just gonna survive. Okay. We need to gain a whole lot of edge. What is edge? We don't know. But I also think it doesn't really matter. So... Can we gain dice rolls? So we could either gain a little bit of edge and hopefully make this encounter last longer, or we could kind of do some damage control. I am honestly not sure. Let's just try and gain as much as we can. 2 more rounds of that. Okay, can we prevent damage and gain edge? Yes, we can. Or we can just try and gain as much as edge as possible. That's a lot. So we would gain at least, 7. Honestly, that might not be that much worth it. Let's go with this one. Still took a little bit of damage. Still gained a little bit of edge. If player gains more than 24, so let's gain less if we can. Or we can just max out. Or we can just play it safe. Okay, let's play it safe. now we don't need to deal with any damage, so we can just gain maximum amount. There we go. Let's prevent the damage to our crew, and let's hopefully clear out. We just one short. Okay. Well, a little bit of damage is not a problem, I don't think. This is going to be the last part of the encounter, right? So let's gain more than we lose, hopefully. There we go.
You souls have the make of legends. My pet shall judge you in the flesh. Now be gone.
Okay. I really like the voice acting. We wake up from our nightmare covered in mud and leaves. We must have ran from the feast and into the jungle while entranced in the vision. Phoenix watches over us, grinning his lipless grin.
Good stuff, wasn't it? What you saw was Rupert Killigrew, the gnarliest bastard ever to sail the 7 seas.
I'm familiar. He hungers for the souls of famous pirates. Quite the menace for you, brethren, I'd wager.
He'll add you to the menu soon, the way things are going. Maybe you'd like to avoid that. We're staying at Wildfire now. The volcano keeps the bastard at bay. Join us if you want to kill the Reaper.
Okay, we passed the Brethren's test and faced the undead pirate Rupert Killigrew. We may join them at Wildfire Isles, where they gather in the volcano's heat to forge plans against the Reaper. So I'm guessing that...
I suppose it was only a matter of time before the path to glory put us in the eyes of
Mm-hmm.
the Reaper.
I was counting on it. What better way to become legends than to best Death himself?
Careful now, Scarlet. Killigrew can't be slain. I've seen better men try and fail.
Who said anything about killing him? I have a far better fate for that bastard in mind. You'll see.
So, I have a feeling, I was about to say, that the next quest is then going to be somewhere in the fog. So kind of like the next level of the main quest line. Now, keep in mind that, let's go to the journal, we now have completed several sections of the main quests already. So 2 of those in 2 of the areas in Empire and Seafaring. We are still going to need to do the level 3 quests. But yeah, as you can see, we are now up to the level 4 quest. So we're actually about halfway-ish through the game. That is also interesting. We now have a total output of 50 slops. I'm doing something right in that respect. So we can pick up another one of these levels. I'm still inclined to go for the kitchen upgrade over here. What else was there? The zip mark, the pinch of salt. Oh, the salt in production. Could be interesting. Courtesans, maybe. Cistern production. I don't know. Let's go with the salt, I guess, because we do need salt for a lot of things at this point. And we also now have the level 4 Prowler. We have almost the level 3 Destroyer. Wait, hold on. We have a level 4 Prowler and a level 3 Destroyer. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to work on those ships in a little bit, but we have a couple more quests to clear out on this side of the island before I want to call this episode over. As a side note, I really like this progression system. We're constantly doing something and progressing into some direction. It is just very, very satisfying. Anyway, we have our ship prepared and we can now go and look for the Fountain of Youth. Now, in order to do that, we're gonna have to explore the jungle trails. Now, what is this countdown? Oh, the red whale has been sighted in the region. Well, that's not gonna be good if we run into that one. I guess we're gonna find out. Well, it seems we found the dread whale after all.
Crew, let out a cheer!
Well, we got a lot of whale blubber in the process, though. It was a pretty painful fight because I took some damage. So I think we're gonna reassign you to go to the port for a second, and then we'll go back to the main quest. Well, with the repaired ship, since we're here anyway, we might as well just do the smuggling run first. I think we have a deed for that as well, right? So let me see. Are we still doing smuggling runs? I think it was here. Yeah, we need to do 3 more of those in order to complete another deed. Oh, that's interesting. So apparently you can do this smuggling run repeatedly and once per hour. So that's a very interesting mechanic that I hadn't realized. Is the same thing for the Crown Port? I think it is. So we have a village we can repeatedly attack over here. I'm not entirely sure what the repeatable mission is over here, but maybe we need to unlock that? Huh. Maybe it's another smuggling run? I actually don't know. But there is probably, yeah, there's a crown port over here, so I assume this is something we can attack over and over again, although there's 2 of them over there. Yeah, but anyway, that means that there are repeatable missions you can do over and over to gain those rewards. So that's a very interesting mechanic that I hadn't actually realized was in here. Something else I hadn't realized is that you can actually hire crew in these ports as well. So that's a really easy way to restock your crew. I've been really anxious about losing them, but yeah, you still have to pay for them, don't get me wrong, and it's a pretty costly affair. But it's a good thing to know that this is an option. Well, I'm looking for the Fountain of Youth, and apparently I found a tavern. That's interesting. Tasty drinks and good company. Was that the real Fountain of Youth all along? What kind of malacry is that? As for the old mariner, he somehow gave us the slip. It seems like he never even existed. The friends we made around the hill. Well, we got a whole bunch of notoriety principal points for that. So that's, well, whole points. 2, but that's significant, and a lot of decent rewards as well. Okay. A group of sailors arrived on our island after staying at the Ocean's End Tavern. They say they heard some pretty outrageous yarns about our high sea adventures. They wanted to see our island with their own eyes. 150 drifters? Yeah, I think I'm actually going to take that one, and I'll explain to you why. Because the next thing I want to do is kind of do a whole rebuild of my base. I don't think it's quite as efficient as it could be, and it probably makes for a good episode of its own as well, and maybe even a guide for some of the people that will be playing this game over the next couple of weeks. 150 drifters is definitely going to help me do that, so this is what we're going to be picking up.
That mariner has a lot of explaining to do. Make full sail.
Okay. We still have this event over here, the Ocean's End. So I don't know, is this the tavern? I think so. Well, we can actually go and visit that as well to check out what's going on over there. Okay, we have arrived this time with Scarlet, and let's see. Each choice begins a side quest that gives you the opportunity to earn more principal points. What was that about a monkey paw? A pig captain? Now that's just silly. A perfect plan gone horribly wrong. Maybe we should try the ones sharing a story about our exploits at sea. Ah, okay. Well, honestly, we don't know what we're picking. This is kind of cool from that perspective because, you know, that means there's some replayability. We could pick something else. The pig captain, that sounds really cool. The monkey paw also sounds really cool. I don't know which one to pick. Let's go with the monkey paw. Legends tell of an ancient relic with the power to grant a single wish to anyone who finds it. This might be rubbish, but what if it's not? The Witch of the Waves might know more. Okay, wow, okay, 3 notoriety principal points and 15 cohesion, but especially the points are going to be interesting. Oh, and we can just go back and pick another story. Okay, so we'll need to wait for like 10 seconds. Ah, so we can kind of just go through them. Oh, that's interesting. So we can pick which ones we want. Okay. So let me actually check this out. So where do we have the least points? We have 12 for... I mean, Empire seems like the obvious one to go for if we can find one that relates to that. So let's enter again and find a nice little quest line. I mean, this is just me optimizing. But yeah, the perfect plan is going to give me 3 Empire principal points, which are the ones I have most trouble getting so far. So let me go and start an ambition that has to do with that. Okay, but that's nice and all, but we have plenty of people now to employ in our town, and that means I kind of want to do a full rebuild because I'm producing a little bit of everything everywhere now, and all of my production lines are kind of getting inefficient, and you know me, I hate that. So we're gonna see if we can actually just rebuild this entire thing. And I'm kind of worried about what it's going to cost me, but we do have a little bit of surplus in both personnel as well as coin, so hopefully that will be enough to do all of that. If you're looking forward to that, make sure you join me for the next episode, and if you're still here, of course, you are awesome, and I definitely hope to catch you in the next one.